Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is JupiterJames, where I awaken the astrologer within you and aim to give you a little motivation and advice per your unique placement within your birth chart. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly what the universe wanted from us. And it is with that language that we were able to read our birth charts. That way we understood our assignments and what this life wanted from us, okay? So I'm just here behind this camera and on YouTube to remind you of the innate gifts and the innate knowledge that you already know and that you already have. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into it. Today we're gonna get into Uranus in the 9th house. Now, Uranus in the 9th house is gonna give me someone whose father was probably took, you know, intellect as religion. You know, they were probably someone who could be a Scientologist even, or like Scientology. This could also be someone who also maybe on the opposite side of the coin could be a little bit of an atheist and probably does value intellect over religion. So before we get into that and we dive deep into that very complex aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we are better able to use the individual properties of each Uranus and 9th house. We can do more with them when we know what they play out as individually, okay? That way when we see Uranus playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's Uranus energy playing out. And when we see 9th house energy playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's 9th house energy, okay? That way we're not just confined to Uranus in the 9th house. Now, Uranus in the birth chart for me as an astrologer is always going to show me the unique streak within a person, okay? It's going to show me where this person exercises their rebellion. Where does this person takes an individualistic, original approach to something, and where does, when they do the thing that they do, people scratch their heads and they go, huh? Or people go, ew, that's strange, like, why'd you do it like that, you know? But even when you do it, it still comes out on top, you know? It's very original, it's a genius placement, it's your unique streak. Now, the 9th house is always going to be ruled by Sagittarius and Jupiter. This is your luck house. This is also your house of God, your house of your blessings, the house of your father, all right? And the house of your guru, because your father was your first guru, okay? Even if your father was not present, your first inkling or the first notion of who is supposed to teach you what life is about is from your father. Your father is supposed to show you the ropes and show you the things. So this is the house of your father, the house of your higher learning, your travel, your religion, and your luck. So what happens when we take Uranus and we throw it into the 9th house? This is going to mean that for you, you probably value, or your father valued, intellect over religion, okay? You were someone that probably, like your father was probably a scientist or someone, again, who was very, very abstract emotionally. He wasn't very present emotionally, but he was there in a sense of you need to get into the best college and you need to be someone that is genius level. You probably had a genius level father, or a father that was very, very I don't know why I want to say engineer or scientist or technologically driven. You had a father that was very cerebral in the mind, and he wanted you to be that way as well. He wanted to give you philosophies of what he felt that people and you should be. And so you may or may not have taken on qualities of that, and you probably still value that, but you know you find a lot of luck when you are exuding those qualities, when you are offering ideas of the higher mind and of original ways to do things, and you are coming up with new concepts and technologically driven individualistic things that you are just coming up with. You get lucky, you get expanse and growth happens in your life when you take on that approach and when you exercise those things. Now, you could also be very distant from your father. You could be far away from your father with this placement. And with this placement, when you go and you travel, when you get on a plane and you go in a different country, things happen, whether spontaneity happens. You could love to take spontaneous trips, or just very trips to these avant-garde places that no one has ever heard of. You could love things like that. Or when you do go to faraway lands, lots of sudden events happen to you for good or for bad. You can get lucky here with this placement, where when you go off on foreign lands, you don't know why everyone wants to upgrade your room to the Empire Suite, or you get meals comped, or people come to you and want to mingle with you and like be in your zhuzh and in your face. Like for some reason, when you go away to faraway lands, it's luck. Your luck is activated and your mind is elevated as well. You almost get smarter when you go away to different lands and different places. So with this placement, I'd really say that you probably also studied technology in college, broadcasting in college. You probably studied something that involves technology in college, because that could be something that your father wanted you to do. It's like you go to school to be a businessman, or we study computers, we study something like that. Like it's gonna be very much that energy. But your father could have taken on a very eclectic and very eccentric approach in the way he wanted to teach you and the way that he was with you, to the point where people would shake their heads like, why is that father teaching him in that shape or form? Even if he wasn't a technologically driven person, the way his approach in teaching you the ropes and showing you what life is about, people around would just be like, what? Like, I would never teach my child like that. Like, you know, whatever that approach may have been. Or you could just be completely separate from your father. But you know, when it comes to the truths and the philosophies of this world and what you believe that this life is about, you are also going to have very eccentric views. You could believe in aliens. You could believe in cloning. You could be the person that loves a good conspiracy, and you err on the side of science sometimes more so than spirit. You err on the side of science and practicality. But I do know that you value technology, and you probably have a lot of higher ideals when it comes to technology and driving humanity forward in the sense of, you know, in a technological sense. But this is going to give you energy like that. If this sounds like you, can you let me know in the comments below if this sounds like you? Let me know if the things that I've just described here sounds like you. And while you're at it, could you let me know the sign that your 9th house Uranus is in, because that would better help me to help you, and I could like write back in the comments what that could mean for you. But yeah, this could very much give you that energy. I would say, you know, lean into this placement. Don't fear it and don't veer away from it. I would be as eccentric in your beliefs as you need to or want to be, you know, because when you satisfy your planets, you can only become successful with them. You know, it is when we veer away and we reject certain placements within our chart that we become unsuccessful in that area. But if you have Uranus in the 9th house, it means that you could have downloads from God. You know, you can get these sudden flashes of insights and these sudden things where, you know, I sense that you could be so smart that it's almost like God level smart. It's God level intelligence, where you become so smart that you understand and recognize the patterns of the universe and the mathematics of the universe, to where you understand the language of God and you understand the language of the universe, to the point where you, in your mind, you think you're just being smart, right? You just think you're being smart, but when people hear it, they go, wow, like that person is taking on a psychic flair. Like, wow, he just read my life. Like, how the hell? But in your mind, you're just thinking, I'm just having common sense. Like, I'm just speaking in common sense terms. But for you, your common sense is turned up a notch with Uranus in your higher mind house. Your common sense is people's lifetime achievement of them going to college. Okay, you just saying what's on your mind sometimes is gonna be so spot on and so in tune with the universe and so adept that you can take on a flair of a guru. You know, you could be someone who is very eccentric in your teachings and in your values, that people come to you for advice and they come to you for teaching. They come to you for insight. And so yeah, lean into that placement and don't run away from it. But yeah, if this sounds like you, let me know. That was my video. I really do hope that you got some encouragement and some motivation from this video. And also, if you want me to do any other videos per your unique placement within your birth chart, or you have any questions about that, let me know in the comments below what video you want me to do, and I will help bring that to light for you, and I will put that in my queue and probably have that video up for you shortly. But I will see y'all on the next video, and y'all take care. Have a great day. All right, I'm rooting for you. Have a good one.